In this video, we will show you how to replace your catalytic converter on this Honda Accord. This is part of the exhaust system located under your vehicle. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing you need to do is safely make your way underneath the vehicle. Once you're under here, we'll be looking for the catalytic converter, which will be located directly behind your flex pipe. On the passenger side of your catalytic converter is your downstream O2 sensor. We need to remove that. Before we start unscrewing the O2 sensor from the catalytic converter, let's get a little bit of slack on the cabling. You'll find that you have a small plastic bracket. Carefully remove the wiring from that plastic bracket. Just lift that right up and out. To remove the O2 sensor from your catalytic converter, make sure you're using an O2 sensor socket. Now that we have the O2 sensor out of the catalytic converter, we can continue removing the catalytic converter from the rest of the exhaust system. You'll find up along the front of the catalytic converter 3 mounting studs with nuts. You'll also find 1 mounting bracket, but we'll be starting along the back side of the catalytic converter. During the removal process, it's possible for the hardware to get broken or damaged in some way. It's a good idea to have replacement for the front and rear mounting bolts. To remove these, I'll be using a 13mm along the bottom and a 14mm up along the top. Your hardware may vary. Now we'll continue on with one of our mounting nuts. Just take that and start it on the threads here, on one of the flange studs. This is for safety. Continue following the catalytic converter to the forward mounting nuts. Along the front, you'll find that you have 3 14mm headed mounting nuts. There we are. That stud broke. Let's move along. At this point, we want to carefully hold onto that catalytic converter as we fully remove our final 2 mounting nuts. Once you've removed the mounting nut from the forward side here, we'll move to the back. We'll use a hammer to separate this rearward joint. Now we can start bringing this out of here. There it is, friend. With the catalytic converter removed from the vehicle, make sure that you clean and prep each of your 2 mating areas. Now let's move to the forward flange. This is the one that's part of the flex pipe. In this area, there's a circular gasket that you will want to remove. We'll just give it a quick inspection, and we can set that aside. The next thing we'll do is clean up this entire mating surface. All right, let's get ready for installation of our brand new catalytic converter. We can remove the plug where the O2 sensor will go into. You can set that aside for recycling. The next thing we'll do is get ready to mount this. While doing so, it's important to make sure that you have a gasket in between the two mating surfaces. You can take this, we'll put it right in place. While holding this in place, let's put in our mounting bolts and nuts. Okay, let's make our way to the back side. As for the back side, we'll just take that gasket, slide it right into place. Now we can pivot this into the proper position and start on the mounting hardware here as well. Now, since we replaced our mounting hardware, I'll be using a 15mm for each side. Snug these up and torque all of the mounting hardware to 25 foot-pounds. Now we can start installing the O2 sensor into the catalytic converter. Before you start screwing this into the catalytic converter, it's important to make sure that you twist the O2 sensor several times counterclockwise. So when you're screwing this into the catalytic converter, the wires will not be twisted. Obviously, we will start this in by hand. Torque that to 33 foot-pounds. Let's start resecuring the rest of that wiring harness. You can take this and start putting it in position. The cable should slide in the grommet. Okay friend, we fully installed our catalytic converter on our vehicle. At this point, make your way out from underneath here, start up the car and let it run for a little while. Make sure you don't have a check engine light and no exhaust leaks. After that, take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.